This podcast is intended for listeners over the age of 19 in Ontario, and we ask that you respect your local laws regarding cannabis.
Be sure to like, download, follow, subscribe, and of course, share with all of your friends and maybe some strangers.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, ladies.
Hi, ladies.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Annie. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing better, I think.
I'm a liar.
Well, happy 420 week.
Happy 420 week. I want to welcome you virtually to the Hot Box.
Thank you. I never thought that time would come when I would have to be a guest appearance on my own show or on our own show, but here we are.
We did everything we could to avoid this.
That's right. Like, really, when we think about how careful we've always been, like, it's a true testament how this thing just, like, sneaks up on you. So, why are we recording virtually this week?
Well, I tested positive for COVID. I tested positive on 420.
Oh!
I know. I woke up at like 3 in the morning and I just knew.
Should have woken up at 420.
Who knows? I spent the entire day like surfing a fever wave.
Oof.
And everything just hurt. Like everything that they've said about COVID is true. You don't want this shit. I felt, and this is like a fever, you kind of get wonky. At one point I was like, I feel like I've fallen off a turnip truck, rolled down a hill, landed on a rock, and I've got like Tweety birds flying around my head. Like I knew everything hurt. I'd be like, I'll just turn this way. Oh, no, that hurts. Oh, it was very Monty Python. But I have to say I had it better than most, like 2 bad days, so I was lucky. The worst part for me has been the brain fog. It is really, really hard to explain. Just before we recorded, I made my daughter some soup, just canned soup, open can, add water. So I did that.
Hold on, I have to interrupt. Just to set the scene. What kind of soup?
Alphabeti soup.
Okay, just, I want to visualize it.
Alphabeti soup is so disgusting, but when you're not well, your kids get to eat disgusting things.
That's right.
And I've made 10,000 cans of soup in my life, haven't you?
Of course.
Yeah, I could do it in my sleep. It was like the first
one can of soup, 1 can of water.
So yeah, I did that, turned it on, stirred it, and then I was like, oh, this soup needs water. So I went and filled the can, came back over to the soup, and I looked at it and I was like, well, it looks pretty watery. But you're supposed to add a can of water. But if it's watery, I must have added water. Oh, I've already added the water. Like, that's brain fog. Like, making soup became difficult. So I think I'm out of the blues. I hopefully you don't hear me sniffling too much. That's really what I got now, a little bit of a cough, a sniffle. I'm tired, but I'm lucky.
Have you ever felt like this before? Like, has there ever been a time that you've had, like, a bad fever?
Oh.
And that you could relate this to? Be like, oh, that one time that I...
Yes, I find adult fevers to be very bizarre, which is why I was like, I had this like Monty Python skit going on in my head. But I hate to say this because I don't want to be offensive, but it wasn't as bad as some flus that I've had in the past.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's good. You're lucky.
I maintained my hunger, which is always good. So it wasn't a gastro thing, which is always, like, for me, the end of the world.
Right.
I treated it with Tylenol. I never take Tylenol, but I was taking as much as I could.
Right.
Cannabis really helped me out. Both eating it at night, eating a ton of it, drinking it, and a little bit of smoking it. And I'm a big proponent of oil of oregano. Have you ever tried that?
I have.
Like gasoline down the throat?
Yeah, I usually I put it on the bottom of feet and then put socks on.
Oh, I use a tincture and you like drop it onto your throat and it just burns. It's such a good bad burn. And then you stink so bad you don't have to worry about social distancing.
Nobody wants to be near you.
None of this wouldn't have happened if I hadn't been so like, oh, we're so prepared for the season. We've got everything, all our ducks in a line. My mom always said to me, her biggest saying was, don't say you have money saved up because that's when the furnace breaks. So I acted as if we had our money saved up and the furnace broke and I'm the furnace.
I like that analogy. Well, I had a more eventful 420 than you did. I mean, in some aspects, having COVID, this this is going to be a memorable 420. So, I think I've shared this with our listeners. I got a new job working for one of the big LPs here in Ontario. So I spent most of my day traveling around to different dispensaries. I hung out with the team at Spirit Leaf Park Place in Barrie.
Oh, they're a fun team.
You right? And then I went up and hung out with a team at Tokyo Smoke in Wasaga Beach, which, let me tell you, the drive up there was beautiful. I could not have picked, like, 420 couldn't have fallen on a nicer outside day.
Yeah.
Like, it was beautiful. Sorry, you couldn't go outside and see any of it because you were, COVID-y. But no, that's all I did. I just went around, handed out some swag. Yeah, that was kind of my day. But the one thing about this 420, like this 420 for me was super special because it's really, at least here in sort of the north, like basically north of Toronto, the first 420 that we've actually been able to sort of celebrate.
Really?
Because like when you think about it, like 2018 in October it became legal.
Yeah.
So then 2019 420, there was only 20 stores open in Ontario.
Wow.
Right? And they were all in Toronto, right? Toronto, Ottawa, and I think there was one in Kingston.
Wow, now that you put it like that.
Right?
Now,
and then
celebrate 420 in dispensaries within legalization, we should say.
Yes, exactly. Sorry. Yes, thank you for correcting me. Since legalization in dispensaries. And I mean, our Toronto friends would have been able to do stuff in 2019, but then 2020 was a shit show. Mm-hmm. We got shut down a month before 420.
You couldn't go in.
Right? We were just trying to survive at that point, right? Mm-hmm. And then 2021 was no better, arguably worse at the time. And now we're here in 2022 and we can do stuff. And let me tell you, the customers were coming out. People were excited. People were engaged and they wanted to like chat with LPs. They wanted to celebrate the day. They wanted to talk about like the history of 420. They wanted to talk about prohibition.
Yeah.
Like, I had some awesome conversations with some like really, well, that's rude. I'm not going to say really old. With some definitely older consumers. Like we're talking like in
legacy.
Their 80s. Yeah, but we're talking like legacy people who are in their 80s.
Nice.
Celebrating 420 like it's St. Patrick's Day.
Love
it was, it was fabulous.
Now that you put it like that, and the dispensaries must have been really, like, it's the first time for them to be able to party and celebrate within their spaces. That's so exciting.
Oh, 100%.
And I missed it all.
When I went to Wasaga Beach, there was live music, and they had an artist who was painting in the store. I heard about a ton of events that were going on. And actually, Annie, you and I got invited to a bunch of
We did.
like in Toronto. And when you called me, it was before school even opened. And I thought you were shitting me because we had plans for the day.
Oh, we were fully planned 420
right?
by the hour.
Yeah, it was like, okay, I'm going to work and then I'm picking up Annie and then we're going to go do this and then we're going to go do that and then we're going to be here and then we'll get home before midnight and it'll be great.
Yes.
Right? That was the thought. And then you called me and you're like, I got COVID. And I thought you were fucking with me. Like, legit, I did. Right from the get-go. No, definitely not.
I wish.
Yep. But that's okay. So we had to cancel a bunch of our plans, but we sort of celebrated virtually with our friends on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And that was cool.
And I sent good vibes from my sweaty bed.
Yep.
But it changes everything, right?
It sure does. And it's changed this week's episode. Because we were supposed to have Becky from Molecule on the show today to talk about cannabis beverages, the innovations being made in the cannabis drink space. And thanks, bud, because of you, we can't.
I'm sorry.
But, I'm just teasing.
Well, Becky's amazing.
Isn't she?
Yeah.
She has such a cool story. She's an award-winning food scientist, and she specializes in non-alcoholic beverages.
That's really cool.
Right? And especially with this shift happening from people trying to pull away from alcohol, we need to have other cool sort of mocktails and cannabis and, other options for people who don't consume alcohol or are making a conscious effort to consume less.
And non-alcoholic beverages like beer and wine, they have come a long way in the last many years. They have been around for quite a while, and they used to just taste like piss. And they are now very comparable. Like you can find, and Becky's actually won awards for a non-alcoholic beer that she worked on. We don't want to give too much away about her.
No, her story's so cool. We got to let her share it because she's going to join us later this season in the Hot Box.
Mm-hmm.
We just had to shift it around because we couldn't have two calls coming into the
Yes,
studio.
exactly. But since we can't talk to her about cannabis drinks, and we are so excited about the strides being made in the cannabis beverage world,
that's right.
What are we going to do? Let's do something.
Yeah, we're going to drink some of the molecule beverages. And actually, I think this might be a good time to introduce a new segment that we're going to do throughout this season, where we're going to try different innovative cannabis things. And we're going to actually try them on air while we're recording, which is something that we don't normally do. We've never consumed and recorded.
Yep.
But we're going to see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah?
All right. So we're going to both try a cannabis drink. I've been getting more and more into cannabis-infused beverages. Amanda, I know you are quite, you're right into it, and you've tried a lot of things, and there's so many fun things coming on the market.
I know.
And we're going to try two different things.
Yes. So with Annie having COVID, I had to deliver her little, a little COVID package that had some cannabis and, the things that you need to recover.
I love my canna community.
Right? That's what you need. You need a community. All right. So who's going first? You or me?
You go ahead first.
Okay, ready? So I have not tried this beverage. So looking at the can, this is Proper, Proper. This is their new blueberry pomegranate. It's a cannabis-infused sparkling water, 10 milligrams of THC, 0 CBD. I really like this one because it has no sugar.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Something I've been taking note of a lot more lately.
Yeah, and I think that's really important for people who, sugar-free is a better way to go in many aspects. But I guess this is one of the things that I love about Becky is she has figured out a way to not compromise flavor while still delivering things that are reasonably sugar,
taking health into account. You don't want to give up alcohol for diabetes.
Okay. So here we go. Ooh, I love this sound. Okay. Smell. I smell strong blueberry.
Yeah.
But it actually smells like actual blue. You know how fake blueberry or blueberry flavoring has that weird smell?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't get this. I actually kind of smell like I've squashed blueberries.
Nice.
Okay, ready? Here we go.
I want to hear.
Oh, that's really.
What color is it?
It's clear.
Okay.
Oh, yep. Just pouring it in my drink. Make sure, or pouring it into a cup to make sure. It's a clear beverage. It's not over carbonated.
Okay.
I would put it in that. It's like a sparkle. It is a sparkling water, but it's one of the good ones. That's not over carbonated. It doesn't taste like. It doesn't taste like artificial flavoring. It very much. I'm getting where I could smell a lot of blueberry. I'm tasting a lot of the pomegranate.
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an aftertaste?
There's no aftertaste. It actually kind of tastes like I just had a sip of water.
Fresh.
Yeah. No, there is no cannabis taste at all. Hold on, I got to take another one.
This is fun. Taste testing on Hi Ladies.
Right? Oh, I like this. Oh, I like this a lot.
Nice. Blueberry pomegranate. What company did you say it was again? Proper?
It's by Proper.
Okay, you can find those everywhere.
Oh, yeah. And they do, there's another Proper flavor out there that came out a while back, and I've had that one, and it is also delicious.
Cool.
Oh, I can totally see myself dockside this summer. This is 100% what I am drinking at the beach and on the dock this summer.
Sweet. Well, I've got something summery too that you dropped off.
Yes.
I am trying Summer Punch by Fresh, Phresh. You can find this everywhere as well.
Yeah.
I haven't actually tried this flavor. I think it's been out for a while.
No, I think it's the one that just came out a few weeks ago.
This just came out? Ooh.
I think so.
So here we go. I'm going to open it. This has 10 milligrams of THC. Again, 0 calories, 0 sugar.
That one's sugar-free too?
Yeah, natural flavors. So, you hear that? Sweet sound.
I love that sound. Now, something just while you're drinking, all the cannabis beverages come with like this weird safety lid on them. I found the best way to take them off is with a coin or a key. Because I have almost destroyed my fingers on them. But okay, tell me, what is it?
It's also like a sparkling water, really fresh. I'm kind of getting like a strawberry vibe, but definitely like a fresh punch, but not like the punches you had as a kid where it's like, I don't like sugar.
Okay.
And this doesn't have that. I love Perrier. It's like a strawberry fresh Perrier. And again, like I am very aware of aspartame, that taste, that fake sugar.
Yeah.
And I don't get any of that.
You don't get that in I don't get any of that in mine either.
Mine is nice and bubbly.
Hold on, let's see. Carbonated water, natural flavor, cannabis emulsion, medium triglycerides. That's just so that it binds. Yo, there is no potassium in this.
I love this.
Not potassium.
This could be dangerous, Amanda.
I know, right? What is the word that I want that is an alternative to sugar? Aspartame. There's no aspartame in these.
Oh, it goes down smooth. But it's nice and bubbly. I like bubbly.
Right?
Oh, yes. I would totally recommend that.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking back to this proper, where you said that yours tastes like more like a Perrier?
It's got that fresh, clean taste like a Perrier.
Yeah.
Again, I don't taste any THC. If I was given that and told that it was just a sparkling water,
I know. I almost want
you could really, that could be dangerous. Good thing that those safety caps are hard to get off because it slows you down a bit.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to blind taste this with somebody.
Ooh, to blind taste and put some sparkling waters in the lineup.
Exactly.
Oh, yes, we are doing that. Okay, so our podcast whole thing is stopped. We're just going to now read labels and try products. This is so much more fun.
It's so much more fun.
Oh,
these are awesome.
Yeah, this is really okay. I want to do a side note though.
Okay.
Because I did go on the Fresh website and see what other things they have, and I had actually tried their Pineapple Express. It just came out.
Wait, Pineapple Express?
I'm sure. Yes.
Wait, you watched Pineapple Express?
Well, they have a new flavor called Pineapple Express.
Who has a new flavor called Pineapple Express?
Fresh.
Really?
Yes. And I was looking at all their stuff. I love the flavor of pineapple, and I just actually watched that movie last night, and it got me thinking. This is a total side note. It's a 2008 movie. Everybody knows it. Seth Rogen, James Franco. In the opening scene, there's a black and white flashback to like a government testing lab in the early 1900s. You know, it's very top military, and there's Bill Hader is smoking joints, and it's called Smoking Item 9, and he's loving it. And in the movie, they say, well, how do you feel? And he goes, I feel like a slice of butter melting on a big old pile of flapjacks.
Yeah.
And then they say, when you think of your superiors, what emotions do you feel? And he starts ad-libbing jazz. And they can't get him to stop. And I'm watching this, and I went, I wonder if that is Rogen and Franco doing a little head nod to our buddy from last week, Harry Anslinger.
Oh, because he hated jazz music so much.
Yes, and he was. What do you think of your superiors? What emotions do you feel when you think of your superiors? And Harry
And it's a
Anslinger really saw
government.
himself as a fucking superior, didn't he? A real superior
Sure did.
asshole. And jazz was the thing that set him off. And when the guy starts playing, when Bill Hader's character starts doing this jazz thing, they shut the whole thing down. Shut it down, sell the property, bury everything. And they're done. And then the movie starts.
Yo, I feel like we might have to reach out to Seth Rogen.
And now we have a talking point.
You're right. Maybe. All right, listeners, if anybody knows Seth Rogen,
sure.
Just you need to ask him for us. Yeah, I'm totally ready to him on social media.
I think I just cracked it. I'm not a movie person, but I think I just cracked it. So
I think you just cracked it.
Now that is a sidebar, but I'm sipping on this summer punch, loving it. Let's give our listeners some homework.
All right, so listeners, here's your challenge this week. Go out and find a beverage from your local dispensary. Let us know what you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
We want to know all of the things. And hopefully next week we have Becky on to teach us more about where the industry came from, where it's going, what we should expect to see, all of the things we all secretly want to know about the can of drink industry.
Yeah.
Send us those questions.
Yeah.
So we can ask Becky.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if we're let's take our questions to the experts, right?
I'm excited for the journey. I love homework.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, something else that I wanted to talk about this week is the incredible Alexis Burnett, who's a gentleman here in Ontario,
yes.
just west of us. I mean, really, he's not that far.
No.
He's in we'll say the greater Owen Sound area.
Sure.
And we had a fabulous chat. He has a company called Organigrow. And we reached out and we've been back and forth and we finally got to sit down and chat with him. And holy bejeebus, is this person not incredible?
Unbelievable.
Right? Like he's been devoting his adult life.
Yeah, several decades.
To outdoor education.
Yeah.
And to growing his own cannabis, his own
regenerative
herbs, his own vegetables. He pretty much can feed his family on his own.
He forages. He regenerative soil. Cannabis. He's an amazing guy, and he shares his knowledge.
Yeah, I see, and that's what I was going to say. Like, I think the coolest thing about him is that he's not just a wealth of information, but he's putting that information out there to teach the rest of us.
Yeah.
So I guess through him being such a knowledgeable person and have been in the education space for so long, he wrote a book during the pandemic, right? Because what else are we going to do?
Well, exactly.
When we were all in lockdown, right?
The pandemic opened many doors, didn't it?
Right? Doors we didn't even expect to ever be there. We thought they were, solid brick walls, and they're like, oh shit, there's a door there. Let's open it and go through it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he wrote a book called Homegrown Cannabis.
Yep.
And when we got this in the mail, I opened it and then I immediately brought it for Annie. But it is probably the most comprehensive, user-friendly book that I've come across.
I would absolutely agree. What's funny is he's like, yeah, I wrote this little book on growing. I just took, what I know, and I just got, picked up by a huge publisher. And so, I put it together. And I thought, we're going to get this little manual. This will be cute. This book is 240 pages long.
Yeah. Well, when he was describing it to me, I was like, it's probably like a 50 to 100 page, little tips and tricks for growing your stuff.
Exactly.
Right? No. This is from seed to curing to from
seed to smoke.
Yeah.
From before seed, because he gets into the soil and, the makeup of soil. Everything is in here that that you don't know. I opened it to a page on seeds, and it was talking about if your seeds have tiger stripes, then they're mature seeds. And I went, just the other day I was looking at all these seeds that I have, and I was like, I think I'll plant the ones with the stripes because they're prettier. But I wasn't doing that out of knowledge, and I just happened to open that page, and I was like, this book, it's beautifully laid out, it's accessible. I love my Bible, George Severus.
And you lent that to me, and that was what sparked my passion to really uncover more of the science of cannabis. Who was it written by?
George Severus, I believe.
Oh, that's who it was.
I'm probably not saying it right, but this is more accessible. This is easier to get the information. Great graphics, beautifully illustrated, beautifully laid out. Like, I can't believe he just gave us this book. I don't think you're going to be seeing it for a while, Amanda, because I'm right into it. We just talk about things that we like on this show. So, I mean, yes, he gave us a signed book, and that was very kind of him, but this is just, I'm blown away.
Yeah.
And he's Canadian, and this book came out in 2001, so it's completely up to date on, you know, what's happening now and what's available to us now. And he does indoor, outdoor, all the different variations on how you might want to grow. And as I always say, you can apply these things to growing anything.
Yep.
But if you are interested in growing and you want to learn more, Alexis has something even better.
Yeah, he runs a full-blown growing course. It's online, but it's not online. Like, it's not just, here's a bunch of PowerPoint slides, click through them and read them. He's put together like hours and hours and hours of videos where he takes you through the process. Like, he takes you out to his garden and shows you what mildew looks like. And then he teaches you how to treat it. And then he teaches you how to check to make sure that the thing you did to cure it is working.
Yeah.
Like, it is so comprehensive. And he's kind of done a really cool thing where he's split his course into like almost 2 avenues. So, and you're a super experienced gardener. You could probably watch all the videos, take all the information, and be able to apply it to your garden, right?
Yep.
Somebody like me who's still a fairly new, like, just gardener in general, and I really like to have my hand held and, like, really taken through the process. So for somebody like me, he has a course that includes one-on-one and group Zoom meetings.
That's amazing.
Right? So if I think that I have aphids, then on a Zoom call, I can take my device out to my garden. This is why I think I have aphids.
Okay.
And he can say, oh, no, those aren't aphids. Those are thrips.
Ah.
You need to do this. Because actually that was a problem that I have found, last season.
Yes.
Was I was treating my plants because I thought I had aphids. But then I finally had one of my friends come over and is like, yeah, great job getting rid of the aphids. But you got thrips. You never had aphids.
And that's such a common mistake.
Yeah.
I love this concept. We don't want to give too much away because I do hope to have him on the show. And I think we're going to do some Instagram lives with him throughout the season.
Oh, yeah.
We'll put out there, but where he can interact with our Instagram family and help them with their questions. He's an amazing guy, but I've never seen somebody undersell themselves so much. Even on his Instagram, I'm like going down. I'm like, there's no mention of this book that is like needs to be in everybody's library. It is so good. But let's not give it all away. You can find Alexis on Instagram at Organigrow Canada, on the interweb at www.organigrowcanada.com. We'll put that in the show notes, and we'll hear from him too. I think we were both so excited about this book.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited for this book. I cannot wait to pry it out of your hands and get it in my book. Or in my library.
Over my dead body.
Right. Like I might have to just call Alexis and be like, hey, bud, where can I buy it?
You can buy it on Amazon.
Oh, I can buy it on Amazon?
You can buy it on Amazon. This is a real book.
Okay. Now, so just on the topic of Amazon, here's another thing. Local Ontario Canadian people, reach out to Alexis online.
And buy it directly.
And buy it directly from him. Amazon takes quite the cut from authors and sellers on there, so try and reach out to him, but if you can't, you can get it on Amazon.
Oh, he's easy to reach out to, and he's a lovely person, but you're right, go right to him, and then you'll get a signed copy, which is even cooler.
Which is super cool.
And then
I'm still drinking this drink.
I know. Are you feeling anything?
Am I feeling anything? Let me see. I have not consumed it all today. So, what do I feel? I feel more relaxed than I thought I would be. Usually at this point in our show, I'm trying to race to, like, you know.
Now you're like, I got all the time in the world.
Right? Yeah, like, I feel like we could just sit here and chat for days.
No, nice. We can't.
We can't.
But we did get lots of really amazing feedback last week from our episode on our buddy Harry Balls. Somebody wrote us a letter and referred to him as Harry Balls. I was like, I know you listened because you called him Harry Balls. We got many kind letters from listeners, and doesn't that mean the world to us?
Totally does. But we got one letter in our inbox that really sort of, I don't know, I was really touched by it.
Yes, so was I.
Do you want me to read it?
Do you mind if I read it? Because your sound is getting a little bit in and out.
No worries.
This is from Angela. She wrote to us, "Hi, I started listening to your podcast just a few months ago, right from episode 1, and I'm finally getting close to being caught up. I've learned so much, and your positive energy always leaves me feeling good. As a mom who didn't discover cannabis until a couple years ago, your message of removing the stigma has really spoken to me. You've inspired me to go out and find some cannabis-friendly friends, when previously it felt like a dirty secret I needed to keep. I've had fun teaching my hubby things I've learned on the podcast." That's so sweet. "As we both new to the journey. The rolling paper episode was a favorite of ours. Thanks for all you do. Could you please send me an entry for your Black Box giveaway?" Hey, that closes today, people, so you better get out there. She goes, "P.S. Annie, I love lemon haze too. Thank you, Angela." Aw.
Oh, I loved getting that. And you know what? Angela, outside of sending us a beautiful, beautiful letter that really resonated with both of us, she also did something really cool for us as well. And she bought us a coffee. But
yes.
In High Ladies terms, we call it Buy Me a Gram.
And thank you so much for supporting the show in both ways, by fueling our tanks, by sending us love and sending us support so we can keep getting and reaching more moms like Angie.
That's right.
Aww.
Oh, so good. All good things. So, see, even though you have COVID, good things still come out of it.
There you go. Episode 50. It's got to be something different, right?
Right? Yeah. How did you celebrate your 50th episode of your podcast?
We took a break from each other. No, you can't come in the hot box. I'm fucking sick and tired of you, Amanda.
Yeah, right? I'm sitting in my laundry room on top of my freezer here. So.
Well, we do hope to be back together next week in the hot box.
We do.
Don't forget, listeners, you have homework this week.
That's right. You're going to go out and you're going to find a cannabis beverage and you're going to give it a try and then let us know what you think. We want all of the cannabis beverages. There are enough listeners out there. If you all buy one, we can do quite the review.
Yes. Maybe we should put some questions in our show notes that we want. Taste, color, details of the beverage. We won't get into all that because right now I do think it's time for us to step away, take a toke, and go be moms.
That's right.
Oh, to better weeks next week. Happy 420, friends. If you've enjoyed today's episode, you can find all our episodes wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Please don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Of course, tell all your friends. Buy us a coffee. Send us an email at... Amanda?
Oh, right. At highladiespodcast@gmail.com. Sorry, I was mid-sip.
Find us on Instagram.
At High Ladies Podcast.
That's awesome. All right. Bye, ladies.
Bye, ladies.
Bye, Amanda.
Bye, Annie.
Happy 420.
Happy 420.
Stay high.